Hello and welcome to today's live conversation with one of our speakers from the Women Thrive Summit. Today we're talking about how to build a powerful self-belief in order to grow your business. Today I'm joined by Anne-Marie Graham, who is our speaker today. Hi Anne-Marie, how are you?
Hi guys, how are you? Thanks, Rhonda, for having me.
Where are you joining us from?
I'm joining from Dublin in Ireland, and it's St. Patrick's Day here, so yeah, lots of partying going on today in Dublin.
Oh, very nice. What's your plans for today?
Yeah, I go into the city later on just to meet some friends for a bite to eat, but yeah, I'm not going to do the parades or anything too crowded.
Yeah, it's so interesting. I've never been, first of all, I've never been to Ireland, and I never get to celebrate St. Patrick's Day that much. So, because I live in Spain and there isn't necessarily so many people celebrating it here. But I mind you, we do have a big celebration this weekend here as well called Pilar, which is just a spring celebration. So, it's pretty cool.
Brilliant.
So in the chat below, let us know in the comments where are you joining us from. First of all, would love to know. Myself, I live in Spain at the minute, and Anne-Marie's in Ireland, in Dublin. So we like to see just where our audience are from. And if you're celebrating St. Patrick's Day, put something green in the chat or just yes, I'm celebrating it. If not, it's fine as well. I'm excited for today's conversation because one, is a really important conversation, I think, for us to have in terms of our self-beliefs and how do we grow our business. And also because we are just around the corner from the Women Thrive Summit, which we've been leading up to for more than 6 months now. And this is going to be your opportunity to get to know Anne-Marie a little bit better and get to know what our events and our community is all about. So I want to introduce our speaker today. So Anne-Marie is an inspirational leader in her field and business and growth mindset strategist, as well as a best-selling author. She is an experienced speaker and trainer and has worked in a number of corporates in nationally and internationally. Today, she helps her clients in her coaching business to transform their mindsets that in turn helps them to really transform their businesses to success. So today we are speaking of mindset and self-belief. Anne-Marie, welcome.
Thanks, Ramanda. Thank you.
Why is this such an important topic from your experience, and what usually holds us back in business?
So it's an important topic for me because my own mindset held me back for a number of years. So my first business was a healthcare business. I set that up in 2004. I sold it in 2015. But for the first 2, 3 years in that business, I was doing all the things. So I was a really good student. I'd read the business books, I'd read the success story books, and I'd do the things that these people did. But I didn't really have the self-belief to say I could be really successful at this and I could take this business and I could grow it and I could sell it. And I had all these beliefs because I wasn't from a business background and I'd actually failed business studies in school. And I remember, at 15, that teacher saying you wouldn't be suited to business and you're not very good at maths, so but your business wouldn't be for you. And I carried that belief all through, I would say, my first 4 or 5 years in business. I had that mental block around the qualifications and the experience and the maths. So it was only really when I looked at my own belief systems, my own patterns of thinking, and how they were impacting my own results negatively. That's why I'm so passionate about it, because I know when we look at these things and we change them, it does actually work.
Yeah. When they say, like, if you believe in yourself, you become unstoppable, right?
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
mean, it's easier said than done. Let's face it, right? It
Yeah.
is self-belief. It sounds like could be easy, but it's not always so. How can we cultivate self-belief?
So I think the thing to remember with beliefs are that they're simply thoughts we've given enough energy and time to that they become truths.
Mhm.
But if we actually stop and ask ourselves, where is my concrete evidence that this belief is a truth? Very often we can't say we have it. So sometimes even challenging it from that perspective allows you to move on from not getting attached to the belief. And then it's also about looking at where do the beliefs that we have about ourselves come from.
Mm.
And not in a way where we beat ourselves up, but it's around looking at, okay, where would I be if I didn't have this belief? How would my life or my business be easier? So it's about looking at, I suppose it's a tool that I learned very early on. And when I would have heard it from two mentors, Jack Canfield and Bob Proctor. Jack would have been the first one I learned it with, where he talked about visualizing yourself in the place of the goal achieved and visualizing what a successful Anne Marie looked like, and
Wow.
get into feeling what that feels like. Now, when I started doing this, I did not believe it was going to work. I
Yeah.
thought this guy is crazy. This is a load of crap. I'm Irish. I'm a nurse. I'm factual. So when I was sitting doing this, I really didn't think, but I thought, you know what? His way is clearly working. He's a highly successful individual. He's a highly respected individual, as
Mhm.
is Bob Proctor, for the years he was here. So I thought,
Mm.
maybe there's something in this. I'll try it. And I got rid of beliefs I had around why it wouldn't work, and I was just open to the process.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. It's so interesting that sometimes just one conversation, one person could open our minds to a whole different new reality that's possible for us. Isn't it powerful? Like, it's
Isn't it?
just mind blowing.
Yeah, yeah. And yet on the flip side, so if I go back to say in school, I always wanted to do nursing. I always had a huge passion for caring for people and helping people. So nursing was always going to be in my career journey at some point. But I also had a real entrepreneurial spirit when I was young. Like I used to set up little shops as a child and sell stuff. I made little coins, for my parents and my brothers and sisters. So I had that entrepreneurial spirit. But in one conversation from that teacher, that was knocked out, completely gone. I thought, she's right.
Mhm.
I'm crap at maths. I'm after failing this subject. I'll just forget about it.
Yeah. I want to invite our audience to actually share with us if they feel comfortable to, or have a think about what was that one conversation or one person that perhaps said to you, it's not possible, stop dreaming. You're only this small, right? Who do you think you are? And a lot of times it's our teachers, our parents, our brothers, sisters, or whatever. And there's always that one significant moment where you felt something, and then that seeded something in your mind that perhaps until today is holding you back from reaching for success. What was that turning point for you, Anne Marie, when you said to yourself, hold on a minute, this is not true. I can do so much more than that.
Yeah. Well, I guess that first of all came when I decided to set the business. So it was a healthcare, as I said, a workplace health business. So when I decided in 2004, I had toyed with the idea for about 2 years. I'd worked in London, and the UK workplace health model was very nurse led, but in Ireland, we were quite far behind and it was still very doctor led. So many of my nursing friends would have said, Amber, you'll never, this model, it just won't work here. It'll never work. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to try it. So over a 2 year period, I did out the business plans and I did out the ideas and I did the journaling. But then it came to the stage where I thought, right, Marie, this year you're doing it. This year is the year that you do it. And even if you only give it 1 year, you can go back to nursing, you can nurse part time, build the business part time. So I just looked at new possibilities. Okay, where can I make this happen? What can I do to make it happen? And I started and I took the first step and I've never looked back.
Wow.
In my third year in business, I hired a coach. And he actually introduced me to a lot of Jack Canfield and Bob Proctor's material and to that seminar in Dublin that I went to, so skeptical, thinking, this is this is not going to work, but I'm going to try it. So that was a great turning point as well in the business. And I think that's why I love working with people who are maybe a year or even 2 years in business, because they've started it, they've got the idea over the ground, they now have proof of concept, and they're starting to develop belief that they can make it happen and make it work.
Yeah.
And I'm just sorry I didn't do that sooner,
Yeah.
instead of talking to myself for 2 years before even setting it up. I
Yeah.
should have just
That's
gone,
right.
I can do it.
But look, it's like what we don't know, right? And that's so potent. It's like, well, you don't know what you don't know. And
Yeah.
until that light bulb comes on, you just don't know. So I hope that this conversation, I hope you stick around for the rest of this, because we've actually just recorded a podcast with Anne Marie, and it was like a super juicy conversation. But before we go to the next question, first of all, I want to invite some of you in in the comments right now to ask a question from Anne Marie. If there is something that's holding you back, maybe you want to know how to grow and scale your business, maybe you want to know how to start something, ask in the chat right now. But also, we don't know what we don't know. And perhaps you don't know that we have our global women empowerment event happening this month, happening already next week. So this is the Women Thrive Summit, where Anne Marie is going to be featured as a speaker. Anne Marie, what is your talk about, and why do people should attend it?
So it's really around how I use the mindset tools, Ramonda, to build a successful business from nothing. I started with a laptop in a back bedroom in my house. I had no client base or anything like that. But these are tools that I learned from fantastic mentors like the likes of Bob Proctor, Jack Canfield, Brian Tracy, and coaches that I've had along the way, and really how I implemented them into my business, and where my own beliefs, and I won't mind sharing that with people, where my own beliefs held me back, and where other people's comments or opinions, I took them as true when I shouldn't. And that came down to really a self confidence issue, maybe a self esteem, inner awareness, self image, whatever you like to call it. But it came down to maybe a belief that I didn't have in myself. And I was actually the person holding myself back the most.
Yeah, and it's usually the case, right?
Mm.
So for those of you, my apologies, I just took the banner off. For those of you who have not perhaps checked out Women Thrive Summit, head over to womenthrivesummit.com and do make sure you check out Anne Marie's talk, which is on Tuesday, the 21st of March. And this day is all about really elevating ourselves in the professional careers, growing our leadership, growing our businesses. And a lot of the powerful speakers that we have on our stage a whole week of next week from Monday to Friday are going to help you uncover some new tools, strategies, techniques, opportunities for success, and perhaps just turn on that light for you, which perhaps you had never idea you had never thought about what is possible in your life. Anne-Marie, since we don't have any questions yet, I've got a whole lot more for you, but I know we have to let you go shortly for your St. Patrick's Day celebration. Uh, what are the last parting thoughts that you would like to share with our audience for someone who perhaps is overthinking it? They're thinking, well, it's easy for you to say, Marie, but it's not possible for me because of etc., whatever other excuses or reasons they cannot do. What would you say to these people?
What I would say is if I can do it, you can do it. If I can do it, it's humanly possible. If someone else has done it, it's humanly possible. And the big thing I would get people to remember is that our subconscious mind is the powerhouse of our mind. That's where all of these beliefs are held. Our
Mm.
subconscious mind does not know the difference between what's real and what's imagined. And because it cannot generate thought of its own, it will accept every thought you give it. So if you are programming it in a way that's more positive, I'm able for this, I can do this, I know the world needs my service, I know people need to be. If you start getting into a positive mindset and you just affirm that to yourself over and over and over again, the subconscious mind will get emotionally involved with it and it will start to believe that as the new truth.
Yeah, how powerful it is. We can
Mm.
literally reprogram our minds.
100%.
And I just want to say to our audience today that don't let your circumstances define your level of success today. Just because where you are today, it doesn't mean you can't grow past the situation which you're in. Look, when I started in my life, I was an immigrant girl. I didn't speak English. I didn't have pennies to my name. I was broke entrepreneur, and actually I failed in my English exams. I failed in my first business. Okay. But guess what? 10 years later, I'm still here. And it was the working on my self beliefs, consistently trying and knowing deep down. And that self belief was somewhere there, no matter how many times I've questioned myself that if it's possible for somebody else, it got to be possible for me. I just have to find a way. I just have to try a little harder. I just have to keep working on myself because guess what? There's nothing impossible in this world. Even if you live in a country where it's not possible and it does not have opportunities for you, I believe if you surround yourself with people and you learn from individuals who have already gained success, you will be able to attain it in your life. So don't give up on yourself, don't give up on your dreams, and keep pursuing it because it's possible. It's more than possible, right?
Absolutely.
Amory, how do people connect with you? Where would you like them to head over if you feel like if some of our audience wanted to connect with you?
Yeah, so they can connect with me. Mindsetsuccessstrategies.com is my website. I also have a Mindset Success Strategies Facebook page. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. The only thing is, if they go to the website, they can download some of the tools that I use with clients, or they can book a 30-minute discovery call. So mindsetsuccessstrategies.com is probably a good one.
Brilliant. And I see CC Patty's Boutique says 8 years in business, not where I want to be yet, but I keep working towards it every day. That's a
Brilliant.
spirit, right? But I think from what I've gathered from today's conversations, and actually the podcast we recorded earlier, that sometimes you need to surround yourself with people and open your mind to something new. Because as you mentioned in the podcast earlier, Anne-Marie, that sometimes we can work so hard in our businesses, right? But not
Mhm.
realize that the mindset shift that we need is a secret key to unlocking success. Just give us a
Mhm.
quick insight on that.
So again, I use myself as an example here. For years, I avoided going online to do coaching because I had all of these mental blocks about being online myself. So it took a global pandemic, and then I had to go online. So I had to reframe the beliefs that I had about, not looking right on camera, not sounding right on camera, not being natural. So the camera was, but you could put me on a stage in front of 1,000 people and I would be fine. But the camera was the, so that came back again when I looked at that. It came back to never really feeling comfortable in photos as a child, always being pushed into photos when, not always, but being pushed into photos when I didn't want. Not liking the sound of myself on video. So it was all of those things that were affecting me going online, and yet it just transformed my business in the last 3 years.
Incredible. It
Mm.
absolutely is incredible. So, for those of you who are wanting to start transforming your business, go over to womenthrivesummit.com. Make sure you register for a free spot at the Women Thrive Summit because this is where you get to meet Anne Marie and watch her talk on mindset and growing your business to success, as well as 48, 50 plus speakers on our stage who are featured this year. The event starts on Monday, the 20th of March, and honestly, you don't want to miss it because if you have any self doubt, if you're wondering how to take that next level, next step in your business, if you're looking for marketing strategies, visibility, growth, this event is for female entrepreneurs, business founders, leaders who want to elevate in their businesses through holistic approaches. And what I mean by holistic approaches, working on mindset, confidence, purpose building, as well as the practical tools, because only practical tools or information that's out there isn't going to get you there. You need sometimes those people and mentors who have been there, done that, walk the walk, and can show you how to get to somewhere where you want to be in a quicker time without wasting your time, energy, resources, or having to doubt yourself. What is wrong with me? Let me tell you, there's nothing wrong with you. You just need to figure it out, and we can help you do that. So head over to womenthrivesummit.com, register for your spot, and we get to see Anne Marie there. Thank you so much, Anne, and go enjoy
Thanks,
your
Rhonda. Thank you very much. Thanks, everyone. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Thank you all so much, and I look forward to seeing you very soon. Make sure you share this episode with your social media followers so other people can discover this conversation that we had today. Thank you all so much. Have a beautiful day.